Hi, and welcome to Noise Vortex. Today's video is a review of the new anti-ritual album Expel the Leeches. This is a blackened crust punk outfit from Denmark and sort of the in-house band for the Indisciplinarian label, which is home to bands such as Alchemist, Orm, Eyes or Nit Liv. Indisciplinarian is also how I found out about the band's 2014 debut EP, and ever since then I've kept an eye on the label's releases. And ever since then I've also been holding up the flag for Anti-Ritual as one of the most overlooked projects in the entire scene, because these guys were virtually unknown. That, however, will change now as they put out their first full-length album with Expel the Leeches. On here the band raised the bar once again as they come out with a compact bundle of scathing and angry crust bangers. Much like their EP, the band's focus is on contemporary issues involving socio-political, systemic and environmental problems. For example, the proper Eat the Rich title track on here that opens the album. Anti-Ritual have nothing but disdain to offer for billionaires, and they suggest redistributing the wealth of these incomprehensibly and needlessly rich people like Jeff Bezos. What's remarkable about the songwriting on this track is the band's sensibility in loosening their grip just a little bit before the end of the track to reinforce the impact of the song's finale. And Anti-Ritual have more songs in store that are fueled by a righteous indignation about the effects of capitalism on our society. For example, Guillotine, which calls for a rediscovery of this popular tool from the French Revolution. However, this isn't just some anarchist manifesto, there are also more nuanced and sensible takes on here with tracks like Franchise Coffee Bars and Internment Camps and Monetary Man. Monetary Man was the first song to be released off of this album and is one of the highlights on here with its swooping, fiery tremolo riffs and furious blast beats. Once again, the songwriting shines because Anti-Ritual just have a good feeling for when to take a step back and when to raise the intensity. And while I will never say no to more uncompromising blasting, there are also some slow burns on here with songs like Capitalism. This song features towering, apocalyptic guitars and lyrical themes that expose the interests of business as inherently inhumane, which can be observed from the more from less mentality that many people face from their employers, mass layoffs in spite of record sales figures, and the notion that growth is potentially infinite. While the band does cover other topics like the refugee humanitarian crisis in Europe and the recurrence of populism and fascist ideas, by far the hardest hitting messages here are the ones about climate change. Both what will we tell our children and the oppressive weight deal with this topic, and how we can live knowing the state the world is in for following generations. The oppressive weight especially is one of the absolute highlights on this album and one of the best tracks I've heard all year. On this track, Anti-Ritual nails something that extreme music is gifted in, and that's conveying emotional intensity. The incessant and dramatic riffs on here and the tangible anguish in the vocal performance make the oppressive weight absolutely heart-wrenching. It's clear that these guys aren't just angry about the state of our world, they genuinely care. To drive the point home, there's this desperation that average people like us can't accomplish this change alone, systemic change is needed, and we still haven't managed that. The oppressive weight also reminds me of another one of my favorite songs by the band, off of their debut EP, No Second Earth. Both of these tracks hit that spot of communicating the strength of the emotions behind them and feature fantastic, evocative lyrics. Another detail that I would like to mention here are the two acoustic pieces In and Out that bracket the album and represent a thoughtful touch. In opens the album with loud and bold chords that go unresolved and create this sense of uncertainty. Out brings back those chords but breaks them down and presents them in a much more introspective manner. This mirrors the feeling of trailing or lingering thoughts and is reflective of the state you will be in after listening to this album, because at least for me it really made me think. Anti-Ritual have their own character on here and it's thick and loud, it doesn't lack in clarity or quality, and it hits that sweet spot of sufficiently dirty and adequately balanced. All the songs on here are pretty short, as is usual for the genre, and while I praise the songwriting on this album, there are few sections that the songs actually have to move through. So in short, what I find on here is a high concentration of quality musicianship. And I think that's down to the guys in the band being such a unit. All the individual parts here lock into each other and create one complete thing. Really, what's most important on here is that Anti-Ritual play genuinely heartfelt, high energy punk that more people should know about. There's no reason for this band to be as unknown as they are. They can easily stand shoulder to shoulder with the greats of the genre. And considering their content and skill, I can only see them get more successful from here on. Expel the Leeches marks a milestone for the band, and I can only wholeheartedly recommend this album to anyone that is even slightly inclined towards the genre. Alright, that's it from me. As always, please leave your thoughts about this album in the comments down below. I'd love to hear them. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing. If you do, remember to hit the bell so you get notified about new videos as they come out. Over here right next to me you can find more content from the channel. Thank you very much for watching, have a good one, and I'll see you next time.